Today I'm going to show you how to take apart the Xbox 360 controller. You're going to need a Torx 8 security screwdriver. It's got the little hole in the end of it so that, sorry, you can't really see it on here, but it does have a little hole in the end so that little peg inside the screw head goes in and you can unscrew it. Okay, let's get started. First, you're going to need to do is take off the battery pack. Let's set that aside. And then there are, I think it's 7 screws that need to come out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then there's one underneath this label. So it's easier if you just get a knife, peel the label open a little bit so you can see the screw in there. Alright, you can't get it off my finger. See, there it is down in there. Then you just take them out. Now if you take your controller apart a lot, the screws might stop catching when you go to turn them back in, and they'll just spin freely inside of the case, not barely doing anything. Oop. Sometimes these screws are kind of hard to hold on to. Sometimes they're hard to get the screwdriver into down in there. So they're around that hole. That's what you do. And then, really matter what order you take them out in. Doesn't matter what order you put them back in. Not quite loose now. Okay, now that you got all the screws out, you just pull on it, and it should just pop right off. There's the back cover. Now here are the tumbler packs, which make it so you feel vibrations when you're playing the game. These little things right here, I like unplugging them just so I don't wreck the cords or anything. Sometimes it can be pretty difficult, but just pull them out so the tumbler packs aren't dangling in there. Then you got the motherboard. Now, to change the thumb joysticks, all you do is just pull it off. They got little grooves so you know which way they go back on. So if you get like 2 flat ones over here, you can rotate it and get the flat or the bumps again. And you can take the triggers off by just pulling this back till it snaps down. Then you get that. You just pull these over. Just pull these over so that it comes up. It's pretty hard. I'm not going to do it because when you do, the spring that's in here comes flying out at you. Then the easiest way I found to get them back on is by taking a screwdriver, popping it up onto it, like just by pushing it over, and it'll go back on. And then that's how the triggers come off. If you need to replace this white part, it just pops off with this little white tab right here. This little white tab should be right here, but mine's broken off. It's actually, I got it right here. But so I'm not going to worry about putting it back on. Now the rumble packs, I don't want to get mixed up because I'm still not sure after all the controllers I've taken apart if it matters which way they go back in. So I just set them off to the side, same way I took them out. And then to take the buttons out, all you do is you pull this up, and you just, oh, that's broke too right there. Anyhow, what you do is you just dump it over. If you want, you can take this out of here, because you took your controller fully apart. You don't have to worry about getting it to go in, because it goes in only one way. Just like the rest of the buttons, you can't put them in the wrong spot, because they have little tabs on them. Can't really tell with my camera, but there's little tabs right here that only allow the buttons to go in a certain spot. Then this bottom part also comes out, and to get the D-pad out, there's two little screws down in there and down in there. There's two little tabs in there too. See, these two little tabs right here go inside of those holes right there, just like that. And that's how you take your Xbox 360 controller completely apart. Now, to put it back together, you get the D-pad back in. Make sure you put that in. Like, I'd put this top part in first, or the bottom part. Just make it easier on yourself so you're not guessing which way this goes or anything. Then you just push it back in. Snap right in. Get your little screwdriver. Put the screws back in. Now just put the screws in so they're snug. You don't have to go wrenching down on them, stripping out the holes. Alright. Then next I'm going to put this pad back in. Just sits on there. Push it down a little bit, it might pop back up. But that's okay. It'll just sit on there once you put the controller back together completely. Then you can put the Xbox button back in. It doesn't matter which way or which buttons you put back in first. Either way, they all gotta go back in, I guess. Nope. See, like I said, they only go in a certain way. So, okay, now that you got the buttons back in, put the bottom plate back on. This too will only go back on one way. Then you just put this back on. It only goes on a certain way, and that was upside down. Just snaps back in there. Then the motherboard. Really, it just sits in there for now. It kind of snaps down, but once you set it back down, it'll. Oh, forgot the thing for the buttons. It just sits there. Then the motherboard. This is where it gets tricky. Try and get it all back together. And putting back in the rumble packs, put the bat part inside this little notch right here. I like trying to match up how the cord used to be, just so that it doesn't have to learn a new way. You have to be very careful with these little wires. They break super easy. Same with this side. I got fat fingers, so it's kind of hard to deal with these little plugs. But you just get it back in there. Put the back on. Now this is the tricky part. You have to put the trigger side first, so that the triggers poke through like that, just barely. Then you have to come back here and push the springs for the battery pack into these little slots. You can feel them go in. Then just make sure it all clicks back together. Everything moves up and down like it's supposed to. I always do that, just how to have it. Then you put the screws back in. Doesn't matter what order. I tend to go with the middle one first because I forget it a lot. Then I make like an X and fill in the middle. So I'll go here, then here, then here, then here, and here and here. Just so you know, it goes in all nice and good. It doesn't pinch anything or go on cockeyed or anything. Again, only put them snug. You don't have to really wrench down on them. Because if you do that, it'll get stripped out really easy. Which side I put in wrong first. Then fill in. Then you just put your battery pack back in, and that's how take apart and put back together your Xbox 360 controller. Thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.